For the past week, the entire internet has been tearing itself apart over Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. If you log on to any social media platform, you are instantly dragged into the crossfire. I'm sure you all know the story. Meg took to Instagram to announce her breakup from the four-time NBA champion, accusing him of horrible mood swings and severe betrayals of trust. And most importantly, she claimed he cheated on her after she had spent nearly a year playing house with him and his family.
Put me on the record. I don't believe anything that comes from Meg Thee Stallion. Why it moved so fast, I don't know. Why you announced the breakup, I don't know.
Megan was just some work for him during the season to get him through the season. A lot of these hoes is seasonal hoes.
Just answer the question. What did she deserve?
The public scrutiny. She has multiple public relationships.
The whole spectacle unraveled quickly. Uninvolved WNBA players were dragged into the crossfire and sent death threats.
I was getting threats on my life. I was getting threats on my health. I've had to hire security to travel with me places.
Viral podcasters tried to erase Klay's entire championship history by claiming he only dated her for clout.
A lot of these guys are looking for women that boost their social status and image. Meg Thee Stallion made Klay a global star, whether he wants to admit or not.
Sports commentators like Stephen A. Smith took to national television to defend Klay's legacy.
Klay Thompson got a different version of what the hell happened. You don't see him talking about it. He don't deserve that. He's a great NBA player and a future Hall of Famer.
It is the ultimate celebrity spectacle, but as you watch this chaos unfold, I need you to step out of the gossip and the man versus woman rhetoric for a second and look at the brutal, undeniable cultural irony staring us right in the face. Megan Thee Stallion is not just a rapper, she is the architect of the hot girl aesthetic. Her entire multi-million-dollar brand was built purely on the ideological pillars of being a quote-unquote savage. For a decade, she has sold a highly lucrative gospel that instructs women to be hyper-independent, to view romance as a cutthroat financial transaction, and to ruthlessly discard men at will. Yet here she is, tearing the internet apart because a man broke her trust and failed to give her traditional old-school monogamy.
You rap about being a hoe. Mad rappers fuck you, and then you get with a nigga, he don't want to be monogamous and he fumble. What's the thinking? I don't know the thinking.
And she said he's supposed to settle down. How's he gonna settle down if she preaching flattery?
Please make it make sense. We are not here to judge her for experiencing genuine human pain. Human beings are biologically wired to seek connection and loyalty. But what we are witnessing is a foundational cultural fracture that was propagated by people like Meg and a long list of others in music and film. She happily played the mascot of hyper-independence and anti-man rhetoric for fame and riches, and now she is demanding traditional loyalty after profiting off a catalog that tells women they don't need it. It's like playing stupid games and expecting grand prizes. The universe does not work that way. But this is bigger than just a tabloid story. It is more a reflection of how society has been played, and also the exact reason why the female rap genre is currently dead. It is proof that the industry sold a generation fake realities, misled the population, and now we, as a society, are paying the price simply because some people at the top sold their morals to spread a message that divides and conquers us as a society. Welcome to the collapse of the transactional persona. Welcome to Redline Theory. To understand why this brand shift is so devastating, we have to rewind to the mid-2000s. We have to look at how the modern female rap industry was actually built. Historically, female hip-hop navigated deeply complex human themes. Artists like Queen Latifah, Missy Elliott, and Lauryn Hill balanced empowerment with socio-political struggle and authentic vulnerability. Even artists known for highly sexualized personas like Lil' Kim operated within a framework that acknowledged the messy realities of desire and partnership. Ensuring that we had a sense of balance in the female rap genre, the intellectual depth on one side and the sexualized personas on the other. But as the streaming era took over, the algorithm became the supreme dictator of the music industry, and the record labels realized they had an unprecedented opportunity. Major music imprints looked at the rise of the feminist movement, analyzed the data, and realized they could weaponize a highly specific, distilled version of the city girl lifestyle. This was not an organic evolution of street culture. Neither was it a grassroots feminist cause. It was a top-down boardroom strategy for executives to capitalize and sell female empowerment through the lens of hypersexualization and destruction of the institution of marriage and partnership.
The music industry chooses to promote a certain look and a certain message because that's profitable, and also they're profiting off of stereotypes. Like, these white music executives are profiting off of black stereotypes, whether it's violence or hypersexuality, and they know that's what's gonna sell.
The music industry poured millions of dollars into funding this narrative because it was a highly scalable product. It drove massive digital engagement, generated repetitive viral club anthems, and it provided a flawless blueprint for brand partnerships. They identified a profitable behavioral trend, injected massive promotional budgets into acts that could flawlessly execute the performance, and scaled the product globally. The savage/city girl persona was a corporate marketing gimmick preached by women whose personal lives spoke a different reality.
Sexuality has been so normalized in this generation that a lot of these people feel like this is what we want 24/7. This is the type of music that we want 24/7. Honestly speaking, you cannot blame people like Megan and Stallion and them, because this generation is so freaking lustful. And the purpose of selling music is to sell what you think that the generation that you are selling to will like. And this generation is lustful as hell.
It was precision engineered to exploit the insecurities, economic anxieties, and aspirational desires of a young, working-class female audience. The labels created a fantasy matrix where young women were taught that adopting a sociopathic detachment to romance equated to supreme empowerment. And the strategy worked flawlessly. The profit margins were historic, and the cultural influence dictated fashion, slang, and internet behavior across the globe. But this entire multi-billion-dollar enterprise rested on a single, fragile assumption. The executives prayed the consumers would never realize that the architects of this lifestyle were just playing a role. They prayed the audience wouldn't realize the labels were profiting off a rebellion they didn't actually believe in.
I don't know why the men be trying to act like they don't be listening to female rap.
Yeah, they
Y'all
do.
definitely do.
Yeah.
And be jamming too.
Yeah,
When I be performing at some of these stops,
Yeah.
it be a lot of men in the crowd and they be trying to stand there and act tough. And I would look them dead in their eye and be like, you know you want to bob your head.
Stop
and they
playing.
start blushing. I was like, yeah. I'm a hot girl. I do hot shit. Say it, man.
And then on my second one, I don't know, like I was sweating, my underarm started itching a little bit because it's like, oh my God, the world's gonna know that I'm pregnant. Oh, here we go.
Right.
Opinions coming.
Oh, because that's when you revealed it all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
So you were more nervous to reveal that you were pregnant.
Yeah.
In the brutal math of modern brand management, the ultimate unrecoverable crisis happens when the CEO of a company is caught publicly refusing to use their own product. When you buy into an artist, there is a brand covenant, an unspoken promise between the creator and the consumer that the lifestyle being sold is authentic. Over the past several years, the most prominent mascots of the city girl aesthetic have systematically violated this covenant. They have displayed a desperate, deeply human yearning for the exact opposite of what they sell on their records.
What are we gonna call it? We're gonna call it city girls feminism? That shit, it's leading y'all the fuck astray. I'm not even opposed to extracting resources from men. We still live in a patriarchy where men have access to the most financial resources, so whatever. But it's the extract and then stay and then fight and then get dragged and then get embarrassed and then brag about it and then stay and then get, it's like, come on.
Let's look at the highly public, emotionally agonizing trajectory of Cardi B and Offset. The reality of her personal life stands in staggering opposition to her commercial branding. She has spent the better part of a decade entangled in a highly turbulent, fundamentally traditional marriage. And Cardi B is not the only one. JT of the City Girls has been in a committed relationship with Lil Uzi Vert since 2019. An 8-year monogamous relationship, fitting for an artist whose biggest song tells women to act up in their own relationships.
Is he different? Does that change?
He looks great, man.
I love the way you talk about him.
Yeah, he's a great man. I'm so lucky and fortunate to have somebody like him because he's so inspiring. Like he no matter what he's going through, he's going to work. Like, you know, like.
This dynamic perfectly mirrors the paradox of Megan and Klay. The architect of Hot Girl Summer spent nearly a year happily attempting to play house with a basketball player. She engaged in quiet domesticity, always making him meals on social media. She eagerly participated in his family's functions. She sought the profound peace of an exclusive, old-school relationship. Her outrage over his infidelity is the righteous outrage of a woman seeking traditional security. It is not the cold, transactional indifference of a cutthroat city girl who views men merely as stepping stones. And now, we the audience are starting to realize that the gospel of the transactional romance is a lie.
You rap about being a hoe. Mad rappers fuck you. The name of my song is called Wet Ass Pussy, right? Then she promotes having wet ass pussy and fucks mad other rappers, and then you get with a nigga, he don't want to be monogamous and he fumble.
The prophets themselves do not believe in the scripture they are paid millions of dollars to preach. And therefore, the brand covenant is broken. Hip-hop is a genre uniquely governed by a singular, unforgiving metric: authenticity. Historically, the genre heavily penalizes performers whose real-world actions contradict their lyrical personas, and right now, the female rap genre is experiencing a catastrophic commercial decline, precisely because its core messaging has been counterfeited on a massive scale. To understand the severity of this crash, look at the stats. For a period spanning late 2025 into 2026, hip-hop experienced unprecedented drops on the Billboard Top 40. Industry analytics show that hip-hop's total market share plummeted from nearly 30% down to roughly 24%. But while male-dominated subgenres have experienced their own creative fatigue, the stark contrast between the sustained, cult-like success of drill rap and the rapid commercial stalling of city girl rap perfectly illustrates the authenticity factor. In the realm of drill rap, the industry witnessed massive spikes in streaming when suburban consumers realized the artists were actively participating in the hyper-violence they rapped about. This is what we called the blood economy. In a previous video we posted on the channel, the modern music industry profits immensely from the authentic, tragic validation of the drill artist brand. The consumer streams the music because the danger is real, and the authenticity is verified by police reports and obituaries. The market sustains their product, regardless of the moral hazard, because the consumer is purchasing proximity to verifiable danger.
No other race of people is turning the guns on each other in the manner and at the rate of which we're doing. And it's an epidemic. And right now, it lies at the feet of the music industry because we have a whole genre that does nothing but promote the killing of a black person.
Conversely, the female rap market is crashing because the audience is realizing their favorite artists are completely fraudulent and don't practice what they preach. The sudden influx of female rappers that dominated the early 2020s has stalled significantly. Newer artists are failing to maintain long-term relevancy. B-list stars are trapped in the mid-tier, struggling to produce the consistent global crossover hits that defined the previous decade. The genre is not dying because the production quality dropped, and even though the influx of the city girl era tainted the required talent level needed to make it in mainstream rap in previous decades, it is not dying because the artists lack talent. It is dying because it feels completely, structurally disingenuous. You cannot successfully sell a rebellion that you are not actively fighting, and as a result, the crash is simply the market rejecting a counterfeit product. But here is the devastating truth. The most catastrophic consequence of this strategy is not the declining market share of record labels. It is not the stalled careers of mid-tier rappers. The true tragedy is the profound psychological and sociological damage inflicted upon the consumer base. Millions of young, impressionable women adopted this corporate marketing gimmick not as entertainment, but as a literal day-to-day survival strategy. Believing the gospel preached by their immensely wealthy idols, these consumers fundamentally altered their interpersonal behaviors. The industry successfully normalized the toxic idea that emotional vulnerability is a weakness, that love is a liability, and that human connection should be approached solely as a financial transaction.
Money or love? I'm definitely gonna say money. Controversial, okay, why is that? Because I don't really believe in love. I don't think it exists.
The audience applied a multi-million-dollar corporate aesthetic to their middle class and minimum wage realities, and it resulted in a devastating trickle-down effect that has fractured communities and destabilized traditional relationship structures. The music industry paved the way for the commodification of intimacy, which in turn birthed the OnlyFans era.
April 2022, you said you made $1 million from it in 2021.
The actual number, it was close to 2 million within a 2-year span.
Platforms like OnlyFans were originally pitched as tools for financial empowerment and creative freedom, but they rapidly evolved into modernized, highly efficient mechanisms for the commodification of the bodies of an entire generation. Young women, emulating the hyper-independent rhetoric of their musical idols, engage in these digital sex economies seeking empowerment, but they find themselves ensnared in a system that thrives on their perpetual objectification. Economically, this represents the ultimate prioritization of instant gratification over long-term equity. They abandon long-term planning, traditional career development, and relational stability for the immediate dopamine hit of algorithmic validation and quick cash. Furthermore, the reality of this independence is deeply coercive. Reports from NGOs focusing on commercial exploitation highlight that a massive percentage of creators face threats from managers, revealing a dark underbelly of digital pimps and modernized human trafficking through account trading. The mental health consequences, severe anxiety, depression, shame, and isolation severely contradict the bulletproof illusion of the untouchable city girl. The current state of the female rap industry is a glaring, unavoidable diagnostic warning. The highly publicized fallout of Megan and Klay, alongside the perpetual marital agony of Cardi B and Offset, should not be consumed merely as disposable celebrity gossip. It must be recognized as undeniable empirical case study that the current cultural matrix needs to be broken. The intrinsic human desire for connection, emotional security, familial stability, and trust cannot be permanently suppressed by boardroom marketing strategies, no matter how heavily funded they may be. The reality of human nature will always eventually breach the facade of the corporate narrative. We as consumers can no longer be passive observers. We need to be protective of our energies and decisive with the type of programming we consume. We must critically detach from these manufactured, energy-draining conversations. Participating in the endless cycle of outrage regarding which celebrity cheated on whom, defending the honor of a multi-millionaire athlete, only feeds the exact same algorithmic machine that profits off our distraction and isolation, which in turn zaps our collective energy. The ultimate rebellion in the modern era is no longer to engage in narratives that have a destructive agenda to our communities. It is not about acting ruthlessly cutthroat or financializing your romantic life through digital platforms, because that is exactly the behavior the corporate algorithm has been meticulously programmed to encourage, package, and sell back to us at a premium. The true, definitive rebellion is opting out of the matrix entirely, focusing on self, community, and real connections that are sustainable. This involves reclaiming our genuine spirituality, nurturing an authentic sense of self, and pursuing fundamental human purposes. We must build these things completely outside of a digital marketplace that actively, systemically profits from our loneliness. This is Redline theory.